Hello everyone. So in this lecture, as I told you, we are going to see the Gaussian distribution curve, accuracy and precision. Gaussian distribution curve, accuracy and precision. Okay. So remember, here in the first figure, you can see the spread is not much. Okay. Here spread is not much. And mu is equal to t. Mu is equal to expected reading. T is expected reading, okay, or expected value, okay, or true value, we can say. So here in this case, spread is less, but mu is not equal to T. Mu is not equal to T. Here in the third case, spread is large, but mu is equal to T. Now these are the three conditions, remember, okay. Now see, here in figure A, the spread of the curve is a small, indicates good degree of precision. Is as there is a small spread and values are trying to cluster about a single value here. So it indicates a good precision. Okay, and it is found to be symmetrical about the population mean. Mu and T are found to coincide. Mu and T are found to coincide. Hence, good degree of accuracy. Accuracy is also there because mu is equal to T. So as mu is equal to T, it indicates more accuracy. Okay, here mu is equal to T and spread mu is equal to T, hence more is the accuracy. Here is also mu is equal to T, hence more accuracy is there. But here mu is not equal to T, hence the accuracy is less. Accuracy is less. Now, second, precision. Good degree of precision. See here, spread is a less, here spread is a less, hence good degree of precision. Here in this case, good degree of precision is there, but here spread is a large, hence precision is less. Precision is less. Now see, here good precision and good accuracy. Okay, this here it indicates good accuracy, it indicates good precision. Okay, good precision. Now here it indicates good precision, but it indicates poor accuracy. Here it indicates poor precision, but here it is good accuracy. Okay, in this way we can explain all the three graphs. Okay, remember spread is related with the precision, and when mu coincides with the t, that indicates a good accuracy. Okay, if mu not coincides with the t, then accuracy is poor. Here mu is not coinciding with the t and spread is also large. This is the real condition now. This is what the practical condition, what we observe in our day-to-day life. So it indicates poor accuracy and poor precision. Poor accuracy and poor precision. Getting my point? Okay. Now we'll see next confidence limit and confidence interval. What is confidence limit and confidence interval? See, any set of observation possesses two basic property. कुठली आहे? Central tendency आणि dispersion or spread. एक तर रीडिंग हे एका व्हॅल्यूच्या भोवतीच येतील सगळं, जास्तीत जास्त त्याला सेंट्रल टेंडन्सी म्हणूया, किंवा रीडिंग हे खूप स्प्रेड होतील, असे एका व्हॅल्यूच्या जवळ येणार नाही, म्हणून मी त्याला काय म्हणतोय, डिस्पर्शन म्हणतोय. ओके, सो फॉर अ गिवन सेट ऑफ ऑब्झर्वेशन दिस टू व्हॅल्यू, that is mean x bar, okay, and the standard deviation, that is s, can be calculated. However, the given set of observation is assumed to be part of large set which is supposed to have infinite number of observation. एक सेट घेतलाय, तो कशातून घेतलेला आहे, इन्फायनाइट नंबर ऑफ ऑब्झर्वेशन मधून घेतलेला आहे, ज्याला की आपण पॉप्युलेशन म्हणतो. जर इन्फायनाइट नंबर ऑफ ऑब्झर्वेशन असेल तर त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो, पॉप्युलेशन किंवा युनिव्हर्स म्हणतो, है ना. जास्तीत जास्त ऑब्झर्वेशन असतील तर पॉप्युलेशन किंवा युनिव्हर्स म्हणतो. आणि एक छोटा सेट असेल तर त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण, त्या ठिकाणी कोणता व्हॅल्यू कन्सिडर करतो आपण, गिवन सेट ऑफ ऑब्झर्वेशन जर असेल तर त्याच्यामध्ये सेंट्रल टेंडन्सी आहे किंवा जी एव्हरेज आहे, दॅट इज इंडिकेटेड बाय एक्स बार and deviation indicated by s. But for the universe, so instead of x bar we are taking mu. and instead of yes, we are taking sigma. So this is for population of universe. This is not for a given set of observation. This is for the universe, or this is for the population. Okay, so standard deviation is indicated by sigma for the population, sigma. Okay, and average is indicated by mu. But what happens as the number of reading increases, it is observed that S will become equal to, or the difference between S and sigma will become equal to 0. But this cannot be become equal to X bar. This cannot become equal to X bar even there are the large number of reading. So to define this, the term is coined that is called as a confidence limit and confidence interval. Confidence limit and confidence interval. Now we'll see here. See, see here it is indicated that the limit of x bar is equal to mu where n goes to infinity when the number of readings are become infinite. Okay, limit of s is equal to sigma where n goes to infinity when number of reading are infinity. But here in this case, what we told, it cannot become exactly equal to mu. Okay, for that sake, see here now, as the number of observation increases, the difference between S and sigma decreases. That may become equal to 0 when the readings are more than 20 to 25. Okay, but But what this says here, see now, similarly, as the number of observation increases, the difference between x bar and mu decreases. However, even with a large number of observations, the difference never become equal to very, very small. Okay, thus it is never possible to substitute x bar with the mu, even with a very large number of observation. Hence, it becomes necessary to get an estimate of mu in terms of arithmetic mean, that is x bar. ना तो त्याला एक इक्वेशन त्यांनी ते मांडलेलं आहे. Since x bar cannot become equal to mu, the estimate of mu is obtained in terms of x bar by defining the interval around x bar. Defining interval around x bar. This interval so defined around the x bar will include the population mean. Will include the population mean. ही population ची mean आहे. ही एका सेटची mean आहे. Given set of observation ची mean आहे. So we can mathematically express same idea as mu is equal to x bar plus minus k. X bar plus minus k. So mu is expressed in terms of x bar. Okay, how mu is equal to x bar plus k, which means that mu, the population mean, lies in the interval x bar minus k to x bar plus k. याच्यामध्ये तो ह्या इंटरवल मध्ये तो म्यू त्या ठिकाणी इट विल लाई इन बिटवीन दिस. Okay, around the arithmetic mean x bar for a given set of observation. For a given set of observation, remember this sentence, for a given set of observation. This is what we are doing over here. Now, factor affecting the magnitude of k. The magnitude of k depends upon number of observation and the degree of confidence with which one wants to confirm that or ascertain that the population mean mu is covered by the interval. Quanta interval x bar minus k to the x bar plus k. Okay, so for this sentence, as the number of observation increases, the difference between these two decreases. Hence, the magnitude of interval defined around the mean, that is x bar, will also decrease, as the magnitude of interval will be inversely proportional to the number of observation. Magnitude of the interval will be inversely proportional to the number of observation. Okay, and for this sentence, the second factor to be considered is the degree of confidence with which one can confirm that the interval covers the population mean mu. The degree of certainty is expressed in terms of probability level. Okay, the value of k defining the range with which we can increase the degree of certainty, that is a probability level. Okay, if one wants 100% of certainty for population mean mu to be included by the interval will become so large. that it will meaningless to define. Okay. On the other hand, if one reduces the degree of certainty or the probability level, then the value of k so defined will decrease. Okay, but the gain in the reducing the k value will be lost in the reduction in the degree of certainty. जर k ची व्हॅल्यू कमी केली तर certainty काय होते, probability कमी होते. Usually one consider the probability level between 90 to 95 and attempt to decrease the value of k by increasing the number of observations, that is n. म्हणजे काय, k ची व्हॅल्यू ठराविक लिमिट पर्यंत वाढवून आणि 90 to 95% प्रोबॅबिलिटी मध्ये आपल्याला त्या ठिकाणी आपण घेतो. ओके, सो फॉर number of observation and for a given probability level, the interval x bar plus k to the x bar minus k defined around the value x bar includes the population mean mu. Includes the population mean mu. ही जी mu ची जी व्हॅल्यू कुठे असणार, x bar plus k to x bar minus k च्या दरम्यान असणार आहे. जे की आपल्याला काय म्हणतो, जेव्हा तो कोणाच्या इक्वल असणार आहे, x bar च्या इक्वल असणार आहे असं म्हणतो. Okay, the statistical limit so defined around x bar is known as a confidence limit. So this is what this range is called as a confidence. Okay, the statistical limits so defined around x bar, define around x bar. Okay, that is called confidence limit. And the difference or the range, that is x bar plus k to x bar minus k as a confidence interval. As a confidence interval. Okay, so statistical limit defined around x bar is the confidence limit, and the interval from x bar plus k to x bar minus k is defined as a confidence interval. So confidence intervals are defined by confidence limit around the arithmetic mean x bar defined as a confidence interval. Okay, and it is denoted by x bar plus k to x bar minus k. Bar plus k to x bar minus k. Okay, so now using student t, we can define confidence limit and confidence interval. Confidence limit is defined as a plus minus ts upon square root of n. N are the number of reading, s is a standard deviation, t is a constant, that is a student t. Okay, that is coined by, this term is coined by Gossett. Okay, so there is a table. For that table, we are considering the value of t. Okay, for the given probability level, we use it for the calculation. Confidence interval is given by x bar plus minus this value. Okay, so the interval is defined as x bar minus ts upon square root of n to x bar plus ts upon square root of n. Okay, student t, or t is equal to student t is a statistical parameter. Okay, it's a value of this parameter are tabulated and are available for different number of observation and for different probability level. Okay, for that table is given in your book. Okay, from where we can take the value, and that value we are considering over here are n minus 1. Okay, where n are the number of observation. 20 observation असेल तर 19 ची जी व्हॅल्यू आहे ती आपण या ठिकाणी घेणार आहे. Okay, so using range, the confidence limit can also be defined in terms of a range for a given set of observations. So confidence limit is equal to plus minus CNR. Okay, confidence interval is given by x bar plus CNR to x bar minus CNR. This is what the confidence interval. Cn is another statistical parameter, and value of CNR tabulated, and it is available for the different degree of freedom. Okay, and different probability level as like a student t. Okay, as like a student t, या व्हॅल्यू ज्या आहे ह्या टॅब्युलेटेड असतात आणि तिथे आपण त्या घेऊ शकतो कॅल्क्युलेशन. ओके, बुक मध्ये त्या ठिकाणी दिलेल्या आहे आणि एक्झाम्पल्स पण दिलेल्या आहे. ते एक्झाम्पल्स ट्राय टू सॉल्व इट. इफ you find any problem, you just share with me in WhatsApp group. I will make it clear to you. Okay, intentionally I have not taken examples over here. I will take it later on. If you just go through it, and then if you find any difficulty, you just contact. Okay. Now, using standard deviation for the population. Okay. So this is a third way by which we can define the confidence limit as plus minus ZS upon square root of n. Our confidence interval is x plus zs upon square root of n and x plus zs upon square root of n. Okay, in this way also we can define the confidence limit and confidence interval. Okay, for a given probability level and given degree of freedom, we can easily find out. Okay, so this is very simple. So they are trying to find out confidence limit, confidence interval using sigma or population standard deviation. They are trying to find out same term, confidence limit, confidence interval using the range. Again, they are trying to find out confidence limit and confidence interval using student T. Again, see, this is what they have defined over here. What is the confidence limit and confidence interval? This is what the confidence interval. The confidence limit is a statistical limit defined around the x bar. Okay. In this way, we can define the terms and we can find out the confidence limit and confidence interval for a given set degree of freedom and given probability level. Okay. So after this lecture, we are going to see the criteria for rejection of result. And after that, we will see the testing of significance. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. So remaining, I will continue in the next lecture.